Manchester United 5, Lyon 4. What a crazy game of football that was. 7-6 on aggregate. If you told anyone that was the kind of game we're going to get, that was a scoreline we were going to get, I think they would have absolutely laughed your head off. And I've seen some people say, yes, it was only Lyon, yes, it was only the Europa League. But honestly, even if Man United were in their absolute pomp, winning league titles and going for Champions League, this game still would have been one of the most memorable during that time. So this one, absolutely, Man United fans, don't let anyone take anything away from you. What a game of football, what a team, what a performance that was. But I think what I really want to talk about, talking about this the day after the game, because I couldn't really comprehend what was going on, if I was being honest. It was all action, and you couldn't really make any sense of it. But afterwards, today, what I really want to talk about is Ruben Amorim, because he's been getting so much stick in the mainstream media. Not really what I've seen from fan media, but the mainstream especially have been really going for him, especially after that 4-1 defeat to Newcastle. They were saying to themselves, United cannot lose a game like this. What on earth are we doing? It's all about the Europa League. Well, this is the position that Man United are in at the moment. It is all about the Europa League. It's about trying to get revenue from competing in the Europa League, trying to win it and get in the Champions League next season so you can attract the better players. And this is what it's about. And what a game it was, and absolutely delivered. And I want to talk about Amram because I thought in the first half he set up his side really, really well, going 2-0 up. In the second half, I thought he could have had some improvements. But I think the personnel that he brought on at the end of the second half and in extra time, and then where he played them, I think he doesn't get enough credit for what he has done right. And I think in this game, he was the one, as much as the players on the pitch, who really enabled those players to go out there and perform the way they did, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for it. And yeah, sure, it was a side we all expected to see play. I mean, there was quite rotated against Newcastle, probably will be again rotated against Wolves on the weekend in the league, but it is all about the Europa League, so I don't have any issues with that. Hoyland obviously starts up front. I mean, the likes of Maguire come back in, Mazraoui. It's not a team that really surprised me. But I thought, first of all, Leniero had a fantastic first half. The way that sometimes he got the ball and then he would then drive with the ball much higher up the pitch. He would go from up to here to midfield. And when people in the mainstream media like Gary Neville are maybe criticizing Man United and other teams for being too robotic, he could have very easily just passed the ball on to Dorgu, let him run up the pitch. But he saw the opportunity, he saw the space, he ran into it. I thought the Mazraoui as well was fantastic in that first half. Unfortunately, did come off. But when he had the ball, creating that first goal for Bruno Fernandes, and then Garnacho, who's playing on his left hand side, when Fernandes gets the ball here in this position, he decides to himself, oh, you probably can't see that. If when Fernandes has the ball in this position, Garnacho's the one coming over here, and he's going to be the one to play the ball. And then Ugarte from midfield coming all the way in and scoring the goal. Where the midfielders of Man United, not just in the midfield, but getting into the box as well. That's where Ruben Amorim wants his players to get to. And I thought in that first half, United were really, really good. But not only that, I mean, Thiago Dalot in that first half getting the goal as well, being one of the furthest, highest players up the pitch from a wing back. That's what Ruben Amorim wants. He gets the goal as well, and that 2-0 that first half, Man United thoroughly deserved it. They were the better side. They really limited what Lyon were trying to do, and Man United got themselves 2-0 up. And I thought to myself at that point, you know what, Ruben Amorim has absolutely fixed it. He's got this team purring. He's doing really, really well. But as we know, because it's still an adjustment period, Ruben Amorim's still getting to know his players. His players are still getting there, but not quite playing the way he wants them to play. There are going to be some mistakes, and that's exactly what we saw in that second half. Because what I really wanted to see, and I think what Ruben Amorim wanted to see as well in the second half, was his players get on the ball and pass it around. How many times are you seeing him, the camera panned him on the sideline, he's there shouting at his teammates, and he's telling them, do you know what, pass it round. But no one's responding, no one's doing what he wants to do, and that's what they need to learn. Because they invited pressure. 72% possession Lyon had in that second half. That's far too much. Man United definitely could have done more with it. And if I'm being honest, just before Lyon did get the goal, Garnacho arguably should have scored. I mean, I think the shot had an 0.84 XG in terms of what it should have been. And I think, honestly, Garnacho should have scored. If he's not a defender, he's not even a midfielder, he's an attacking player. He's got the time, he's got the space, arguably too much, but still, he's an attacking player, so in that position, he should 100% be scoring that. Maybe at too much time, maybe he's not in the greatest confidence at the moment, but he definitely should have scored. And if he does, then that ties over, but then Lyon eventually get themselves back into it. First of all, with Tolisso, then with Tagliafico. I think the defending was really, really poor from Man United in the front post, back post. They let the midfielders run off them far too easily. And that's what Ruben Amorim needs to improve. Yes, 45 minutes they were great. Second 45 they weren't. And then it goes to extra time. And then it's all about Man United, what can you do? Because they go down to 10 men as well, Lyon. So United have the man advantage. But then Lyon Lyon with 10 men are the one who scored 2 goals. And it was such a weird one because I think it was one of those games where you're trying to look at the individuals and go, okay, who's at fault for here? Who am I blaming for the goals? And where are the mistakes? And it was really good play, but I think there were lots of little mistakes, not really one big thing that you could pin at one individual player. But how the game went, it ended up being one where, okay, maybe we don't focus so much on the negatives. Yes, there were mistakes, and yes, Man United themselves should go in and micro analyze them and try and see how to prevent them. But I think from a broader fan perspective, I think you just go, do you know what? It was one of those games when those things happen. But thank God it was one of those games because Man United got themselves back into it. And I want to give Ruben Amorim some credit for a couple of things. First of all, he took off Rasmus Højlund and he brought on Kobbie Mainoo. In the 90 minutes of normal time, Man United had 17 shots and Rasmus Højlund took none of them. Now, I think Rasmus Højlund himself can do better, but I also think his teammates themselves can also need to have a look in the mirror and say, are we providing as many chances to this man as we should be? The answer is most definitely no. They look for Xerxes when he's on the pitch. They don't really look for Højlund. And I think Garnacho is a big player in that, in which he just shoots far too often, more than he should. But then bring on Mainoo, a player who you could argue should be in the midfield, but clearly, obviously, infamously now, that game against Crystal Palace at home, Ruben Amorim decided to play Kobbie Mainoo in the number 9 position. That was either a cry in January to, I need a striker to the board, or it was genuinely that, you know what, I see something in Kobbie Mainoo, then he can be a really good attacking player. 5 goals now he's scored in his career. And when you think of most notably the goals that he scored, you think about maybe the Wolves one very early on in his career, you think about maybe the one against Liverpool, and now this one as well against Lyon. All coming from that left-hand side channel. That is clearly something that Ruben Amorim has noticed and identified, that Kobbie Mainoo has a really good shot on him, and especially from cutting in from the left-hand side onto his right foot. So you got to give credit to that, because you could arguably have just kept Garnacho and played him in the 9, played Fernandes. Arguably, why not just leave Rasmus Højlund on the pitch? He's a number 9. He's your only number 9. And if people were to leave him on, people go, okay, fine, Man United need to go, fine, keep your number 9 on. But no, he had the balls to take him off and go, Kobbie Mainoo, you're the man for me. Stay on the pitch. And the other one is Casemiro. The decision not to take Casemiro off, I think one was one that surprised me, because I thought to myself, a player whose legs are going a little bit, maybe he's a little bit more tired, aging, take him off and bring on some fresher legs in the likes of Mount and Amas, whoever it is. But the decision not to take Casemiro off, I don't think will be highlighted enough, because ultimately Casemiro got the assist for both of the 2 goals, for Mainoo and Maguire at the end. And yeah, for the assist for Kobbie Mainoo, it is mainly Kobbie Mainoo. But, you know, running onto the ball outside of his right foot to wait the pass over, it's perfectly in Mainoo's stride. That is a very good assist, but Kobbie Mainoo definitely creates all of that. But then the other one, for Maguire. When Maguire, by the way, is playing as the number 9, because to then equalise, to get yourself back in the game, easily, Ruben Amorim could have gone, right, lads, you know, we're lucky to be in this game. Sit back, defend, let's go to penalties. But he went, no, Maguire, you've been up to try and help us get back into the game. You stay up now, and we're going to find you. And Casemiro is the assist. He's there as an experienced player, could go, all right, let's keep the ball, let's be patient, let's try and just see out it out penalties. But no, he's getting the ball, he's the one crossing it to Maguire, because he realises Maguire, 6'5", against his Lyon defence, who struggle physically, I would say, when Man United did impose themselves in that extra time. Maguire, we're going to pass the ball to you, and he's the one who's going to score you the winner as well. So I think a lot of things you have to give credit for Ruben Amorim, which I don't necessarily think that he is going to get credit for, because, you know, is there a media narrative against him in the mainstream? It was there at the beginning of Ruben Amorim's tenure, you know, Casemiro, was under a lot of pressure for not being as good, not running around, not providing the legs. Are people now going to give Casemiro the credit that he deserves because of his performances of late? Now that the squad is a bit more fit and now they've got options, we're going to rotate Casemiro in and out. Like, do I expect Casemiro to be playing against Wolves? Absolutely not. But do I expect him to be playing in the game in the semi-finals? Yeah, definitely I expect him to be playing in that game. I mean, playing Maguire as a central striker, yeah, it's last ditch, but will it work, will it not? But it did, so you have to give Ruben Amorim credit for that. And obviously, I'm not saying that the performance was absolutely perfect, but I don't think there's any point in this game to focus too much on the negatives, because I think it was just one of those games. And thankfully it was, because thankfully Man United were able to get themselves back in the game, win 5-4, 7-6 on aggregate. What an absolutely mental game of football. But I just really wanted to make this quick video, just highlight the positives. I think some players did really, really well. I mean, Bruno Fernandes is on a mission to win Man United Europa League. He's the only one of, like, real consistent, high quality on a week by week basis. He is, criticism of Bruno Fernandes, I think, is just pointless. I mean, there are so many other issues with Man United. Why criticize Bruno Fernandes? He's the one who scores the penalty, gets Man United back into it. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. Maguire, I mean, the turnaround in fortune from this one player who was criticised. I mean, I remember seeing video essays, people saying he's done, what a waste of money, to now where arguably he has to be playing week in, week out in important games for Man United. I mean, in that central role, in that three, he is absolutely perfect for that. I think Casemiro, the resurgence to, lead the football forward, the football leaves you, and now he's playing really, really well. But again, are people going to give him the kudos that he deserves? I don't think so. Kobe Mainoo, a player who's not necessarily been fancied playing in deeper, playing up front. He's always kept his head down, kept to work, and gone, you know what? I am just going to want to be here. I'm going to keep my head down, and I'm going to do my best for the team. And he scored an important goal for Man United yet again. And yeah, credit to Ruben Amorim, credit to the side for not giving up and getting back into it. They had no choice really. They had to, because down to 10 men, Lyon were, so he may as well. And now they've got a semi-final against Athletic Club. That's going to be tough, but we'll talk about it after the game is done. So if you want to see my reaction to that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, and join me for that one in a couple of weeks' time.